Hi, looking here at a Burt Bacharach compilation. As you probably heard today, uh, Burt Bacharach passed away, age 94. So he had a pretty long and rich life. One of the greatest songwriters of the 20th century, which might seem like an overstatement or an over exaggeration, but when you think about it, crossed generations and just so many recognizable songs. Such an amazing songwriter. This I got, I think, about a year or two ago, and this was $1. I remember the shop I bought this at, and it's a double CD, and it has 25 songs on each CD, so 50 songs. So it's a pretty good coverage of his career. Look at the booklet, and it just goes through kind of writing about his life and kind of touching on some of the songs that are included. And he's kind of got features some of the artists that he is most famous for working with. So we got the Shirelles, Gene Pitney, also a great songwriter in his own right. I love Gene Pitney. And there's is I guess the guy he was most is most associated with, but also I guess he had his most success working together with Hal David. Dionne Warwick, maybe his number one muse. Dusty Springfield, Tom Jones, The Carpenters, Elvis Costello, and there's kind of some other, maybe lesser known from his early days. Walk On By, of course, one of his songs, probably one of the most famous songs, and one of Dionne Warwick's most famous songs as well. You know, Dionne Warwick. I've got one of Dionne Warwick's CDs here as well. I got this about a month ago, actually. This is like an 80s era compilation of her greatest hits. But so many of her songs are just are Bacharach songs. Of course, Walk On By and Do You Know the Way to San Jose are the two most famous ones, I guess, but a lot of other ones as well. And I found out because when I was driving to work this morning, I did a super early shift this morning, so I was driving to work at about 4:30 a.m. in the morning, and they had a news update, and they said, "Oh, Burt Bacharach had passed away in California, 94." And I was, I wouldn't say I was shocked, but I was, whenever you hear someone die, you're like, "Oh, well, that's a shame." But 94, like I said, it's a pretty good innings. But I thought at the time, as I was driving to work, I wonder what his real name is, because surely it's got to be a stage name, Burt Bacharach. It doesn't sound. It sounds like it's almost like too perfect to be a natural name, but it's his birth name. Burt Freeman Bacharach is his birth name. So a name made for a musician. He's trained. He went to university for music. He studied in Canada and under a famous jazz musician. And if you look at the way he writes songs, often when I play guitar, I'm not great, but I'll go through songs, old songs that I like, and just kind of look at the chords to see if I'm capable of playing it. And there are some songwriters, and you think, just the way they put chords together, the progressions they choose, and the chords they choose. So many songs use similar chord. But I remember when I was looking at Burt Bacharach songs, and some of the chords he used, really unique stuff. A big jazz influence, I'd say. And he was, when he was younger, jazz played a big part in his life living in New York. But if you look through here, the track listing, some of the songs, it's just amazing how many of these are kind of part in the popular consciousness of people born in the 20th century and 21st century. Close to You by the Carpenters, So that was kind of like 70s era. Do You Know the Way to San Jose, of course. Magic Moments by Perry Como. So that's kind of earlier, I guess. I think when I think of Perry Como, I think more of the 50s. I think even the 40s, Perry Como was was uh, was active, but I think Magic Moments was maybe the late 50s. Say a Little Prayer, of course, Aretha Franklin, huge song. What's New Pussycat, Tom Jones. Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. I'll Never Fall in Love Again, Dionne Warwick, of course. I go through The Empty Place by The Searchers. Herb Alpert down there, down the bottom. The Look of Love. Walk On By, we just talked about. Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Now, that's the one that Elton John did, is it? That he did the duet with, what was it? What's her name? Kiki? What's another one? I'm pretty sure. What's that one he does? Oh, This Guy's in Love with You. I remember I saw Faith No More in concert when I was a kid. Well, when I was about 17 or something. And Faith No More did a live version of that. And they put that on the bonus disc of Album of the Year after they broke up. Mike Patton does a pretty good version of it. He did work on some films as well. Alfie, Cilla Black. Now, of course, Cilla Black. That's another person who we associate with him. Now, she did. What was the name of the song? Anyone Who Ever Had a Heart. Now, on this one, I think Dionne Warwick is singing it. It's her version. There it is. Track 20. Anyone Who Had a Heart. Even though I love Dionne Warwick, I'd say I prefer Cilla Black's version of Anyone Who Had a Heart. She's got a lot of power in her voice, and it kind of matches that song. Not that Dionne Warwick doesn't have power in her voice as well, but it's a different kind of voice. This is much kind of smoother, silkier. And he also did the Christopher Cross song, Arthur's theme that's from an Alfie movie as well, isn't it? Not Alfie. What's the other one? Jesus, the one with Dudley Moore. Is it Alfie? Not important, really. It's from a movie though, and Christopher Cross did sung it. Arthur's theme, The Best That You Can Do. But so many great songs. A master of songwriting. That I was reading just before when I was on a break at work. I was reading his Wikipedia page, and there was a quote. Him and Hal David were inducted into one of the Libraries of Congress, I think, for specific music. Like there's the Libraries of Congress, which is usually, I think, like literature, but there's movie section, film, and the guy who gave the speech when they were inducted was saying it was one of, if not the most recognizable playlists in the world of last century, or still today. You put on that CD, even people, it's a kind of music. It's just like in movies and TV shows, it's used, background music. Turn on radio stations, you can still hear it, 10 times a day. So we're lucky we had him as long as we did. I think I actually own another compilation, which my CDs are in a right state at the moment, so I can't. I'm waiting to buy a new shelving unit to put them all in together, but I'm waiting to do that until after next Friday for a reason that's not really important. And at the moment, they're all piled up and all over the place and not really as organized as they should be. And I think I have a Burt Bacharach and Hal David specific compilation, because a lot of these songs were post Hal David's era with Burt. But I can't find that. But anyway, $1 CD from the great man, Burt Bacharach, rest in peace, 93, what did I say, 93, 94 years old. Married 4 times. And one of those to Carol Bayer Sager, who is also a famous musician, songwriter. But yeah, thanks for watching.